any annoying. There you go.
Caroline, there you go, baby. There she is. No. They're going to the egg. That's right. That's right. Okay. But I'm gonna your mic is on, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Before I start saying something crazy.
I don't think so.
Urinate and see if I can find something about that. I've never seen that before. Just saw that.
Did you eat dinner?
I didn't eat lunch till 4 o'clock.
Okay, so you didn't eat.
I have back-to-back meetings today.
Yeah,
so I
I'm
didn't-
sure. Yeah.
I didn't have time for anything.
I have no doubt. Y'all are busy.
You are not lying. It's crazy right now.
Where's Angela? to come in over there. Yeah, you're right. Don't speak yet. Was dinner good? Was dinner good?
Don't ask me. I didn't like it. I didn't.
I don't know him. Yeah.
It's not my cup of tea.
How about Miss Valerie? Did she like it? Did you like
She
dinner?
didn't like it. I didn't.
Dinner.
She didn't like it either. It's
Now
not
you-
my cup
y'all
of
know
tea.
I ain't eating
It
then.
wasn't my cup of tea. No offense to him, just didn't care for it.
Did she quit?
Where she is. I'll call somebody.
Sam? Where's Borland? Was she coming?
She was back there with Dr. Parker.
Well, he's here.
No, he came on back with us. I don't know where she went.
No, I don't either.
That is crazy.
She was back there at some point.
Maybe she went to the bathroom. We have a quorum.
We do. Everybody just needs to say, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, all righty.
We need to go ahead and get started.
We do, all these people are here. Mm-hmm. Because y'all better go to Raleigh.
Yeah, I'm not really like that. I'm just feel like a.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you're boxed in between me and Miss
I feel like
Valerie?
I'm in the zoo.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah. Yeah, he's here. Where did he go sit?
he's here because of the old age.
Yeah, he was invited.
His daughter goes.
Well, I wonder if Princess is here. I haven't seen her.
She's here. I don't know where she is.
It's 6:09. Let's go.
Dr. Parker, is she leave?
Here she is.
Oh, here she is.
Does she not know? Okay. All right.
Good evening and welcome to the monthly Board of Education meeting for Elizabeth City Pasquotank Public Schools. ECPPS is a progressive public school district committed to reimagining education so that all students are given choices to discover and explore their hopes and dreams. And now to begin the meeting, Board of Education Chairperson Angela Cobb.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the open session of the Board of Education meeting for January 27th, 2025. At this time, would everyone please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance? Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. We'd like to say good evening to everyone. Thank you so much for coming out and joining us on this no longer snowy, a little bit cold January evening. We are going to ask Ms. Pam Parker to do our roll call at this time.
Chair Cobb.
Here.
Vice Chair Perezza.
Here.
Dr. Sheila Williams. Present. Tommy Old is not present. Pam Perezza. Angelique Boylan. Present. Valerie Bogues.
Here.
Sharon Morden.
Present.
Erica Moore is not present. Brandon Moore, not present. And Ruby Nunez Anaya is not present.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Parker. Ms. Bogues, would you read our ethics awareness statement, please?
Yes. Welcome to the January 27th, 2025 meeting of the Elizabeth City Pasquotank Board of Education. It is my duty to remind members of the board that it is your responsibility to avoid all conflicts of interest and potential conflicts of interest in accordance with Chapter 138A of North Carolina General Statutes. As public servants, it is your duty to continually monitor, evaluate, and manage your personal, financial, and professional affairs in such a way as to ensure the absence of conflicts or potential conflicts. Does any member know of any conflict of interest or potential conflict of interest with respect to any matter coming before the board today? Let the record reflect that no conflicts exist.
Thank you, Ms. Bogues. At this time, I need an approval of tonight's, a motion for the approval of tonight's agenda.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda for January 27th, 2025 as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Warden. We have a motion. Can we get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, please signify a positive vote with a show of hands. Let the record reflect the vote is unanimous and that Tommy Old is absent. Okay, so we've had our agenda approved for tonight, and now we are going to move on to Dr. Parker and our recognitions for this evening.
Thank you, Chair Cobb, and good evening to everybody that's joining us here. We have some really exciting recognitions that we want to bring to you this evening. And so we're going to kick it off, and we're going to ask Mr. Scott Hinton to come forward with two of our students. Roger and Ryan are going to go ahead and come forward right now. And Scott is the director of the Economic Development Commission here in Elizabeth City, but also manages and operates the airport here in Elizabeth City. And so we have this really exciting program where, through a partnership with Scott, we are taking every seventh grader on a plane. Their seventh grade year. They get to fly in a plane, and Roger and Ryan have recently done that. And so we want to kick it off and highlight that program tonight. So, Scott, I'm going to let you introduce our two friends and let them kick it off.
Well, good evening, Mr. Parker, board members. Thank you for allowing me to attend. We have Roger and Ryan. I'm going to let you talk, or let them talk to you about their experience, and then when they're done, I'll tell you a little bit about how we're doing that and what makes that happen. Roger?
It was really fun flying with Scott, and I'm really into aviation a lot, and it was really cool to fly and be in the handle of on a plane.
It was fun, and I don't know what to say. It was fun, and I liked flying it.
Had you ever flown before?
No.
Did you like the view?
Yes.
That's about all we give them flying. Thank you, Ryan. So in practice, what happens when we take the kids flying is generally they spend most of their time with their nose pressed to the window, and we don't get a lot back from them in feedback. I can ask questions, I won't get an answer, and I'll say, "Can you hear me?" And they'll say, "Yes, I hear you." And then they keep looking out the window. So as Mr. Parker told you, I'm also the airport director. I belong to a sport aviation group called the Experimental Aircraft Association. And that doesn't mean that your children are flying in airplanes that are unproven or untested. It just has to do with the way that they are certified by the Federal Aviation Administration, and they all are. Not all the airplanes are experimental. Some of them are antique classic, like mine, or just standard production airplanes. But since 1992, the association has flown 2.3 million kids throughout the nation. It's an incredibly important program for our association because it's how we introduce aviation to young kids. I got my first ride when I was 7 years old. And from that moment on, I knew that's all I was ever going to do. And so I tell parents when I'm getting ready to take their kids flying, and Roger actually flew with me in my airplane. Do you remember what airplane it was?
It was the PA-22.
I asked him that because on the way of the airplane, he was telling me about all the airplanes and pointing them out, and he knew what they were. So mine's a 1953 Piper Tri-Pacer, and he's right, it's a PA-22. I tell parents that when I take your son or daughter flying, if even as an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old, because the program starts at 8 years old through 17, If an 8-year-old tells you that they want to fly, don't discount that, because I knew the moment that I went, that's how I was going to spend my life. And it was great for my parents. It was a terrific gift because it meant that for the rest of my childhood, my behavior was self-correcting, because I knew that to be a pilot, I needed to get good grades and not get in trouble and behave. And so as a result, I'm one of three, the oldest of three. My middle brother will say that he got to do anything he wanted to because of me, and my youngest brother would say he didn't get to do anything he wanted to because of the middle brother. Pretty typical. So the program, what we're doing is we're giving every 7th grader the opportunity throughout the year to come fly. That doesn't mean that they have to. If they don't want to go, well, we understand that. But they get an opportunity. We do it the 2nd Tuesday of every month. We started off with Mr. Fonville, coordinating from the school system, and then now Mr. Fudge is doing that, and they bring out the buses on that Tuesday, and we take them flying. And it's not a long flight. We pretty much leave the airport, go out around Walmart, and come back. But it is amazing how the kids know where they are. When I was that age, I thought two-dimensionally. But now they have Google Maps and computers with 3D imaging, and so when they're in the air, their brain already processes that, and they'll say, there's my house, there's the school, there's downtown. They know where they are, which is why they're not talking to me while we're flying, because they're busy picking out where they are. But we're having a ball with it. Ryan actually flew with the chairman of the airport authority, Steve Saunders, and so all of our pilots donate their time and their money. We pay for the flights. We've always done that. I never have a problem getting the requisite number of airplanes to fly the kids. The only thing that ever gets in the way is the weather, and so we don't take risks. But as I told Mr. Parker, the flying gets easy because it's just an excuse to go flying. We're always looking for excuses to get in the air. So if I can take a young lady or a young man flying and introduce them to aviation, well, that's a great thing. So we want to share what our program is and what we're doing, and we absolutely love it, and we'll continue to roll through the year and hope that we continue to do this for years to come.
Yep, that's great. And Scott, we want to take a photograph with you and Roger and Ryan. So if you guys will come right over here, we're going to take a photograph real quick. So, and I just want to thank you all for what you're doing. So we're going to move over here and do a photograph, and then we'll head on with some recognition. And let's give a round of applause for Ryan, Roger, and Scott again. We're really excited about this, and as Scott mentioned, the pilots are donating their time to do this. So, you know, I think being able to go up in that plane is going to spark an interest. And later tonight, we're going to be talking about an aviation academy that we're launching. And asking the board to consider voting on, and that will allow a student, Ryan, Roger, any student in this district ultimately to be able to graduate high school with a pilot's license and them not having paid one dime for it. And so we're really excited about that. And I look and see here, and I see Wendy here, and her daughter got that pilot's license through some opportunities. And so we're becoming a home of aviation, and there's a lot of opportunities here with these partnerships. So Scott and everybody, thank you for those pieces. I want to move now and ask Dr. Katina Waples to come forward, and let's do the Go Global recognition here. And so we got a really exciting recognition here that has been made possible through our support and partnership with Centera, and President Watson is here tonight. So we're really excited to announce some really cool things tonight. So, Katina, I'm going to let you take it away.
Well, thank you, Dr. Parker. Good evening, Chair Cobb, Vice Chair Pereza, board members in our community. Through an amazing partnership with Centera, we were able to apply and were accepted to send one of our global teachers to the Netherlands this summer. Applications were open to all of our global schools, which included Central, J.C. Sawyer, and Northside Elementary Schools, as well as our two middle schools, River Road and ECMS. Interviews were conducted, and I am thrilled to announce that Ms. Tiffany Bogue was selected and will be representing ECPPS as our Go Global Netherlands teacher for the 25-26 school year. This means that this summer, Ms. Bogue will travel to the Netherlands, where she will totally immerse herself in all aspects of the holistic educational and cultural global experiences. She will share our American traditions and will work to build lifelong relationships. When she returns, she will be teaching all of us about what she has learned. Ms. Tiffany Bogues is currently a second grade teacher at J.C. Sawyer Elementary School and has been with our district since 2016, also serving in the role as a pre-K TA. During her free time, she loves attending her church. Ms. Bogues also enjoys spending time with her small business that she's created, working on her natural beauty products for her hair and skin. She recently became a homeowner. Ms. Bogues completed her bachelor's degree in sociology in 2016 and her master's degree while working at ECPPS in 2022. Ms. Bogues is passionate about teaching, motivating, and connecting with people from all over the world, especially J.C. Sawyer. And since she's entered J.C. Sawyer, she's become a true mover and a shaker. Again, our ECPPS family would like to say thank you to Centerra for their financial support. You are truly a game changer and a difference maker for our community. We appreciate you. We would also like to thank you and congratulations to Ms. Bogues for her dedication to our students and their future as she begins a very exciting Go Global Netherlands experience that will definitely benefit our students and our community. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask Ms. Teresa Watson from Centerra to come forward and share a few messages.
Okay, so I need to see Tiffany. Where is Tiffany? Come on up, Tiffany. As Tiffany's making her way up, I will just say the last time I was with you folks was to announce the award to the school system. So what a pleasure it is now to get to see the recipient. Oh, you can give it away. Thank you so much. What we hope this will do will be life-changing, and then recruitment opportunities to follow for others who see how progressive the school system is. And this is our investment, not just in, one person, but you're going to bring back that experience, and you're going to share it not only with the school, but with the community, and be that voice for why you need to be at Pasquotank in your passion for teaching. So I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. We remain grateful, and I need a photo op. So Wendy Pierce, if you will come forward so we can meet with Miss Tiffany and get a photo. We are super proud of you. We'll look forward to hearing great things. You want to share just a word of what this means to you?
Yes, thank you. I just want to say thank you publicly. I was talking to Dr. Waples last week, and I read. I'm just going to say I read. I've read everything that involves the trip and the experience that I'm getting ready to embark. But when she called me and told me that I received it and that I was the only one in the district, I was like, "Are you for real?" I mean, I didn't say that, but I was thinking it because I didn't know. I thought it would be others. So I'm just forever grateful for the opportunity. So thank you.
Now, if a fully funded trip out of the country for the summer so you can learn and become a better teacher doesn't get you excited, then I don't know what will. And, you know, as was said there, that this opportunity is made possible through a $40,000 donation from Centera that will allow ECPS to send a teacher from here on out every summer, and this is just the beginning. So some really exciting things there. We're excited to learn all about your experiences, Tiffany, when you come back. Let's jump right in here and keep rolling, and we're now going to go into some highlights from our elementary basketball league that has just kicked off. So I'm going to ask Dr. Waples and team to come back up and kick that off. So if you're not aware, if you don't have an elementary student, 4th or 5th grade, we are one of the few districts in the state and one of the only ones I know in the region that has launched an athletic league in elementary school. And we've kicked it off in 4th and 5th grade. Has anybody got a student that plays in the league or has been out there? Okay. They are I call them the junior NBA because they are on fire out there at P.W. Moore, and I see Stephanie right here. So we're so excited about this. A lot of hard work, preparation, and planning has gone into this, so we want to recognize some of the folks who've helped us get this league back up. So Dr. Waples, kick it off on that one for us, if you will.
Yes, sir. So we have, as Dr. Parker said, introduced our elementary basketball program back to our district. We had not had it since 2020. So it was super exciting to have conversations about starting it. We've had 2 people that have been absolutely instrumental to its success. Mr. Hip Barcliff couldn't join us this evening, but we'll be definitely recognizing him at another board meeting because he's working tirelessly with everything on the court, and that's how we kind of separate it. Everything on the court is Mr. Hip Barcliff. He's taking care of making sure we have officials. He's worked hard to make sure that we had uniforms for our kids, pom-poms, you name it. He's been working really hard. We have another person who's been behind the scenes working really hard, and this person is in charge of our admissions and our concession stands, and that's Miss Julie Gregory. Miss Julie Gregory is a veteran teacher who has been working for ECPPS for the past 24 years. In addition to her teaching responsibilities, she is a first responder, a beginning teacher mentor, and even a substitute bus driver on occasion. Her kindergarten swimming program was the inspiration of the YMCA's Every Kid Swim program. She has organized numerous school-level events as well as the elementary PE basketball season and March Madness tournament for many years. Her career highlights include lobbying on the Capitol Hill for higher nutrition standards for school cafeterias, publication of an article in Strategies, a physical education journal hosted by the Carolina Panthers team, and the creation of Hillview, a fictitious town that integrates multiple subjects and life skills. She has won numerous grants and awards and is a 2-time school-level Teacher of the Year. In her spare time, she is working on completing her dissertation for her doctorates, which I'm super proud of her. She also teaches, she's an adjunct professor, and despite all of that, even though she's the PE teacher at J.C. Sawyer during the day and halfway through the night, she has been working and organizing concessions from 1989 to 2019 for our basketball program, and now, when I went to visit her and asked her to do this, she graciously said yes. And she's been the district coordinator for elementary basketball season and tournaments from 2004 to 2020. We would like to recognize Julie Gregory this evening. Julie, would you please come forward with your husband? The board would like to recognize you. Dr. Parker? Thank you again, Mrs. Gregory. For all of our parents and families, we have elementary basketball every Tuesday and Thursday from now until the first week of March. Our March Madness, I believe, is March 7th. So please come out and support our students. Like Dr. Parker said, we're having them at P.W. Moore. The first game starts at 5, and then the girls are at 5. The girls are at 5. The boys are at 5:45. It is a crowded house, and it is a lot of fun to watch our kids get back to just having fun doing something outside of the classroom. Thank you again, the future Dr. Julie Gregory, and thank you, board members.
Sounds good. Thank you, Dr. Waples, and thank you, Julie, for all the hard work that's gone into this really exciting opportunity here for students. We're going to move on and now ask Candy Tilley to come forward with some recognitions for our school treasurers. And we want to welcome Ms. Tilley up to share some highlights. Thank you, Candy.
Thank you, Dr. Parker. Good evening, Chair Cobb, Vice Chair Pereza, and other distinguished board members. I'm here tonight to recognize a few of our hardworking school treasurers who have completed the Treasurers Academy offered by the North Carolina Association of School Business Officials, better known as NC-ASBO. These ladies attended 11 academy classes ranging from handling difficult people to payroll management in Greenville, North Carolina. They traveled 2 days back-to-back in September, October, and November to attend these classes. Not only did they gain professional development, but they were also able to network with school treasurers throughout our region. As finance officer of ECPPS and president of NC-ASBO, it's my honor to recognize them tonight. Misty East, River Road Middle School. Cassie Reber, J.C. Sawyer Elementary. Joanne Strother, Sheep Harney Elementary. And finally, last but not least, Kim Underwood, Elizabeth City Middle School. I think it's important to note that these ladies had to spend time out of their office, and there was no one there to pick up their work, so that was a lot of time and commitment for them.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Tilley, and to all of our dedicated school bookkeepers for all of the work that you do. We're going to keep moving along here, and I'd like to ask Principal Jennifer Lee to come forward and bring some recognitions from the Elizabeth City Pasquotank Early College. And we're going to move in here. So, Ms. Lee, if you'd like to come forward, and we'll get some recognitions going right here. We are very proud of our early college for a lot of distinctions, but we're going to share this in the video, Jennifer, but before you get started, we've got a full house. I want to say this, that this school, with about 120 students, has this year become the first school in this county to receive a distinction as being rated an A school. And you can hit an A status by hitting 85, actually. Will get you to an A because it's on a 15-point curve. But not only did they make an A, they hit it not at 85, but they hit it at 95% of their students passed the state test. And out of 120 kids for 95% to pass those tests, I'll take those numbers any day of the week. So, Jennifer, thank you for the hard work that's going on. We're going to do some of those recognitions this evening, so I'll let you kick it off.
Thank you, Dr. Parker. Board Chair Cobb, Vice Chair Pereza, board members, and guests. I bring greetings from the Elizabeth City Pasquotank Early College. That warm welcome was very much appreciated, and we hope to continue the academic excellence that we set last year. This evening, I'd like to recognize students and family members that make the early college a great place to work and learn. I'm going to begin with our 9th grade students. Students, when your name is called, please come up to receive your certificate and make your way over by the individuals in front of the banner there. We will take a group photo by grade level. Beginning with our 9th grade students. Janae Garcia Diaz. Riley Hendricks. Ben Josve. Samuel Knotts. And these are our 9th grade students we're recognizing this evening. Please give them another round of applause. The 10th grade students being recognized, Dion Butts. Sawadi Kamal. Jara Rossman. Victoria Stafford. Please help me congratulate our 10th grade students. Next, I'd like to recognize our 11th grade students, and we will begin with Broderick Hardy. Elena Susans. Eva Taylor. Please join me in congratulating our 11th grade students. And last but certainly not least, our 12th grade students. I'd like to recognize Sinai Brockett, Liliana Buzetta, Brandon Moore, but he is not joining us this evening. He has another event he is attending on behalf of ECPPS. Natalie Stevens, and Luis Vargas Flores. Please join me in congratulating our 12th grade students. At this time, I'd like to recognize a group of parents who have helped to resurrect the parent-teacher organization, PTO, at the Early College. These individuals have worked for the last 2 years to bring the organization to where it is now. They've helped with the senior breakfast, prom, field day. Whatever we need, they are willing to step up and go beyond. So this evening, I'd like to recognize those members that have been with us for 2 years. First, Mr. Al Blake. Amanda Garrington. Martia Stafford. Jamie Stevens. Doris Walton could not join us this evening, but accepting her award on her behalf, and we are also recognizing Mr. Rodney Walton. And Miss Kim Wilson. Please give it up for our wonderful PTO. The last group of individuals I'd like to recognize are the heart and soul of the Elizabeth City Pasquotank Early College. They give their hearts and their souls each day, and they work very, very hard to provide the best experience for our students. I am recognizing our small but mighty staff. So this evening, I'd like to recognize Ms. Heather Bowen, Mrs. Michelle Barker, Mrs. Barker is our science teacher. Next, I'd like to recognize Karina Caldwell, our school nurse. Mr. Cripps Depker, our social studies teacher. Our AIG facilitator, Mrs. Marie Moss. Our English teacher, Mrs. Benita Robinson. Our data manager, bookkeeper extraordinaire, Mrs. Michelle Spence. And our math teacher, who is not joining us this evening, but Elizabeth Wooten. Give it up for our wonderful staff. Again, I'm thankful for these individuals, students, staff, and parents, because it takes all of us to make an excellent school, and I am deeply appreciate the work that you do every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lee, for those recognitions, and to the staff and students and families that were able to come up. We're going to get ready to play two videos. We're also recognizing, in addition to the early college tonight, H.L. Trigg, our alternative learning school. And so Principal Paulette is here. So Chris, would you like to come forward and just say a couple words here and mention a couple of things, and then we'll get ready to cue up our two videos that we produced over the past 2 weeks, highlighting the early college and H.L. Trigg. And so, Mr. Paulette, appreciate you.
Chair Cobb, Vice Chair Pereza, School Board, Dr. Parker, thank you for giving me a few minutes to talk about what's going on at H.L. Trigg. We're a little more shy, so trying to get somebody to come out with me was almost impossible. I would like to report, though, we have 8 students who were in danger of dropping out less than 2 years ago, who have completed all their requirements for graduation this semester. And potentially 6 more who will finish with their cohort at the end of the school year. So, thank you. Our students come to us for a variety of reasons: attendance issues, anxiety issues, teen pregnancy, teen motherhood, difficult situations at home, having to help support their families. My staff does a fantastic job of working in, through, and around those situations to make sure our kids get what they need. Our focus for the year is trying to tie the curriculum to the real world that they're about to enter. The majority of our students do not qualify to go to a 4-year university directly from us, but they do have the potential to go to COA or directly into the world of work, so we're working very hard to tie the curriculum to those things. And you'll see in the video, we're bringing in some different things to try and give them opportunities and give them the best start that they can get to start their lives as adults. My staff works incredibly hard. They're great people. I can't say enough good things about them. Again, I tried, but they were reluctant to come out and be recognized. They said I could be the face of the organization. They'll do the hard work. So I don't mind running my mouth, and I don't like hard work, so it all works out. That's about all I have to say. Thank you for your support. It's very much appreciated. I know we're a very small school. I know we have our challenges and things, and so I appreciate any time I've ever asked. Y'all have been super supportive of anything I've ever needed. So again, thank you for all of that.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the special things we have going on here at H.L. Trigg that help meet the unique needs of our students. This year we've decided to focus on things that are really going to benefit our students as they enter the world of work and community college. Our teachers are working hard to make sure our students are prepared to enter the world of work. We have several initiatives going on that are going to help the students be more prepared when they leave us. One of the first things we did is we worked with our CTE department, and Miss Overton brought her crew in, and we did career assessments for all our students. The career assessments will help them hone in on the skills they have and what jobs might accompany those skills. Here at Trigg, we're working with our community partners. We partnered with COA. Our students took a field trip over there, learned about some of the career and technical programs they have going on there, as well as associate degree programs that they might be able to transition into after leaving Trigg. In an effort to give our students more opportunities, we brought in recruiters from the Army and the Navy to speak with our students about opportunities they could have after they leave high school. We are also going to offer the ASVAB to all of our students here at the school so that they can, again, find skills and strengths that they may be able to take into the military and provide a career for them after they leave school. We also had Mr. Roberts from Southern Bank come in and talk to our students about financial planning, opening bank accounts, things they would need to do as far as taxes when they get a job, W-2s and those kind of things to help them better prepare. Lastly, we've been working with NC Works. They came in and spoke with our students about career opportunities and things they can do to help them prepare their resume and apply for jobs within the local area. NC Works helped them set up accounts so that when they leave school, they can activate those accounts and start looking for careers that are good paying jobs that will help them take care of themselves going forward. Here at H.L. Trigg, we're really committed to making sure our students are prepared to enter the world of work when they leave school. Not every student in ECPPS is immediately going to go to college. We want to make sure that we have prepared our students who are ready to go into the world of work with all the skills they'll need to be successful.
Welcome to the Elizabeth City Pasquotank Early College. I am proud to be the principal of this wonderful school. We are fortunate to be located on the Elizabeth City campus of College of the Albemarle. College of the Albemarle has been a wonderful community partner, and we appreciate the support provided to our students. Our location on the COA campus offers students the advantages of being part of the community college experience. At the Early College, we believe every student has the potential to succeed at a high level when given high-quality instruction. We foster positive outcomes by working collaboratively with students, parents, and the community. Due to our small size, we can personalize learning to address the unique needs of each student. This year, we focused on helping our students become proficient in using their MacBook Air computers and apps. Our goal is to empower students to explore new opportunities and possibilities through technology while becoming an Apple School of Distinction.
What stands out to me about our students is their determination. They show up every single day. They work really hard, and they consistently work to try to meet the high expectations my colleagues and I set for them.
I've picked up many skills at the Early College, one of which is time management. As an upperclassman, I am mostly in charge of my own schedule, which means choosing when to do what, such as assignments, is extremely important to my overall success. My favorite thing about the early college is certainly the flexibility I have with my schedule. I'm able to do things such as go to 4-H nationals outside of school to better help my road to university. And even if you're not looking to go to university after high school, the early college is great in showing you the opportunities that you have.
The early college offers so many opportunities. My freshman year, I finished my high school classes. My sophomore year, I began starting college classes. I became a CNA. I am part of student board, and I do SGA for both COA and the early college.
I've been teaching at the Elizabeth City Pasquotank Early College since it opened in 2017. Over the years, I've been amazed at the growth of our students and our program. I am proud to be part of a school that truly empowers students to succeed. Our innovative program offers all honors classes and accelerates math, English, and science, empowering students to start college courses by their sophomore year. We go beyond traditional learning. Collaboration is at the heart of our approach. Through hands-on teamwork, critical thinking, and technology-driven instruction, students build necessary skills and prepare for the challenges of college life and for their future. This semester, we've introduced the Be Calm program. By teaching mindfulness techniques, we help students manage stress and thrive in our rigorous accelerated program and carry into their adult lives. Our students aren't just learners, they are leaders. As key stakeholders, they help shape the decisions that impact their education and future. Elizabeth City Pasquotank Early College, where we are building skills for life and empowering leaders of tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much for both of our schools that were highlighted there. And I also want to thank Benny and John who are here working our audio visual and the videos that you see produced. Benny comes out and works with Caroline and our team and produces these really high quality professional videos. So thank you for coming out and spending that time, Benny and John, for helping us with that. So let's give them a round of applause. And that concludes our recognitions, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Dr. Parker. This is the time in our meeting where everybody has that thought moment. Do I go? Do I stay? Should I be the first one to get up? So we're going to take a very, very short recess, and if you need to take your kids home and feed them dinner or those kinds of things, we totally understand that. We'll take about a 2-minute break just so it's easier and less awkward for everyone to transition, and we'll be right back with the rest of our business meeting. Thank you so much.
Your public comments. Yep. Yeah. This is good. Man, I've known her ever since she's been in her 20s. Long time. She is a game changer, that's for sure. And you know what? She raised 5 children basically on her own.
And one of them at least is special needs, right?
Yes.
That's what my sister-in-law told me.
But she's got a great guy.
Good for her.
Yeah,
I don't know how she does it.
She is so deserving of it. She is a good.
I've got a dog, and I can't manage my time.
She is a good woman. I'm serious. She does not have a mean bone in her body. You know Melita Smith. Melita. Okay, that's her sister. She works at Northeastern High School now. She was a PE teacher, and then she left here, and then she's at Northeastern. I think the rest is staff.
We are now back in session, and at this portion of our meeting is usually when we do public comment. This evening, we did not have anyone sign up for public comment, so we're going to move right along to the superintendent's report. Dr. Parker, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A couple things to highlight tonight. One, I do want to recognize that January is listed as Board of Education Member Appreciation Month. And so I want to say a couple of words of gratitude on behalf of our Board of Education and speak to the work that you do every day. So, you know, we're very thankful for a devoted and invested Board of Education. We say a lot of times as we talk about our community, you can't talk about communities, particularly rural communities, without talking about the very important role that public education plays as a fabric that holds rural communities together. Our good friend Caroline Parker, no relation to me, that works for EdNC, has written about this, and she calls public schools in rural communities an anchor institution, meaning that if you remove them, the communities we know it would cease to exist. And so we wouldn't have a public school system without the Board of Education, and that really is a hallmark of public education, a governing body elected by the people of this county that directly represent this county. You know, that's democracy in action, and that's a representation of what our public schools are. So for that, I want to say thank you for representing the county and the students that are in our county. I also want to say that as is pretty evident in the world we live in, being an elected official is oftentimes a thankless job, and also oftentimes a job where the burden of problem solving and working through challenges seems to be a good part of the job. So this is our opportunity to say to the board, thank you for the work and commitment that you do. Out of our 7 board members, we're very fortunate because our entire board is invested in young people. Our board is completely comprised of one or all of the following, either of these. One, our board either has been an alumni of this school system, has had children in, gone through, or currently in our school system, works in education directly preparing future teachers to work in our school system, or is and has been an advocate for young people throughout their entire life. That is not something that boards across the country can boast that reputation of, but we can do that here. So for the work that you do on a countless basis, I just want to say thank you for that. And we do have board member Old that is not with us tonight, and we have our 3 student board members not here. So in lieu of a photograph, we're going to recognize and then take a photograph at a subsequent meeting so we can have everybody involved in the photograph. But on that note, we just want to say thank you. So join me in a round of applause for the Board of Education. And we do have a small token that we want to give to the board to give to you before you leave here this evening. So thank you all for the work you do. Our 3 student board members, as you can see, are not here tonight. They are actually in Raleigh. They left this afternoon via activity bus, and they are in Raleigh. They were actually invited by the North Carolina Public School Forum to be guest keynote speakers at an annual event that the Public School Forum holds every year called the Eggs and Issues Gathering, and that is a moment where elected officials, superintendents, administrators, teachers, folks from all across the country come together in Raleigh. And tomorrow, our 3 student board members are going to be speaking in front of about 300 people. Some of the folks in this room will be there. See Freebird's here with us. Will be here there tomorrow. And they're going to be speaking about the tremendous benefits of a community school model that we have here, and how that our schools to these students are more than schools. And I'm so excited for the opportunity they're going to have tomorrow to be able to speak on behalf of our school system. And how cool is that to be 18 years old and be invited to speak in front of hundreds of people? You know, that's the quality of the students that we have representing the Board of Education here. So they're not here with us now. Actually, I think Brandon and some of the was telling me earlier that he was wanting the YouTube link so they could join virtually. So Brandon, Erica, Ruby, if you're watching right now, we're giving you a shout out. So let's give some recognition to the student board members. We have made about, well, not we, the good Lord made about 5,000 students happy last week when the snow came down in record numbers. I told the board and some groups a couple of weeks ago that we had about 5,000 students praying for snow, and couple of weekends ago, the sprayers didn't quite make it through the stratosphere, but this last time they did. They got all the way to the top, and the snow came down. But you may have seen on our Facebook account where we were able to shout out some photographs of our young people across the county that really enjoyed this rare event for us. But given those 2 days of the snow days, we're back in action today and have kicked off the second semester, particularly for our high schools and our early college. And so we've gone through our final exams in the high schools, and we've now kicked off second semester, and we are just moving full steam ahead. And so we're not prepared to do that tonight, but in the days ahead, we're going to be able to share some really, really exciting results from our high schools and improvements that our high schools have made on end-of-grade testing. And we can't share those numbers tonight because they're not final, but when we can, I can just tell you, you're going to be very proud of the students that tested in state test on this first round. And I wish I could say more, but I need to pause right there. But we're really thankful for our high schools that all the work that they've done and continue to do. So I want to say that. And as we keep rolling, we just want to give a shout out to the incredible school administrators, many of whom are here with us tonight. We're going to be speaking about some really exciting programming and opportunities that are coming up, but it wouldn't be at all possible without the work of a school principal and a school leader. So for those things, I just want to say thank you and appreciate all the work that goes into getting us tonight. Thank you.
Since our student board members are not with us, we will go right on by the student board members' report. And at this time, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda, including the superintendent's recommendations for personnel.
I move to approve the consent agenda and the superintendent's recommendations for personnel.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Warden. Do we have any further discussion? If not at this time, please show a positive vote with a show of hands. Let the record reflect that is unanimous with Mr. Old absent. And now we will move on to new business, and we will again let Dr. Parker take the lead on this.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And we'll give a quick update. I just saw a message come through from Brandon, and he said, "Thank you for the shout out. That's what I'm talking about." So that is proof that the student board members are watching live from Raleigh right now. So we're going to move right on into some of our business tonight and continue going. We're going to kick it off with an introduction to the board on some really exciting new programming here. So Caroline, if you'll throw up the presentation deck, we'll cue that up. And one point here is I believe we're going to use the Google Doc, but we added a couple of slides in there. So if you refresh that slide before we go live, Caroline, that way it captures some of the new slides that we added in there, and then we can jump in. But we're really excited to share some things with the board tonight that we've been working on, some of which we've been working on for several months, some of which we've been working on for over a year. And so, this work of thinking about the future of our young people, it's a work that is long-standing, and, the arc of this work is long. And we've committed a lot of thought and energy into what does it mean to be a school-age student in 2025, and what would these young people need in the year 2055 when they look back and say, Pasquotank County really prepared me for the world that nobody even knew was coming, but I was still prepared. And we've thought a lot about that. We'll hit the next slide right here, Caroline. And so, we're really grounded in this idea that the future of our schools is based in just reimagining what the educational experience is like for our young people. And to think about reimagining education, we've really had to challenge ourselves and to learn ourselves about what this means. The idea of reimagining is mired in the heart of what we do. We'll go to the next one there, Caroline. So tonight we're thinking about some particularly 4 programs that we want to bring to the board and move forward on launching. Our focus in this work is based in a K-12 pathway. So thinking about students when they are in pre-K about to walk into kindergarten, but already thinking about what does that kindergartner's experience need to be all throughout school to 12th grade, so when they walk across that stage, they're ready. And when they walk across the stage, the Monday after Friday and Saturday's graduation, they have a plan of what they do when they have left the school system. And so that is the heartbeat of where this programming is coming from. And we want to highlight a couple of things. One, a focus that we're making on language immersion and focus on dual language immersion. Katina is going to introduce that here in a second, paired with the Global Leaders Initiative in our elementary schools that prepares our students to understand their place in the world, America's place in the world as a world leader, and what the future will be like as we live together on this planet. We've put a huge emphasis in the highest quality, rigorous programming we can find, and that is a commitment in our middle and high schools to the International Baccalaureate Program, which will provide some of our students by high school to graduate with an internationally recognized high school diploma directly from our traditional schools. And then particularly in our high schools, we've come to realize fully that preparation for higher education, career, or service to the country is the single most important thing a high school experience could be for a young person. So preparing kids to go into workforce readiness through internships and exposure to high-tech careers is the single important thing, the heartbeat of what a high school experience can do. So we're going to talk about career academies tonight and how that can, Caroline, we'll hit the next one, how that can help us make that reality come true here. The programming that is in effect and we're asking the board to consider tonight is a K-12 pathway. So students in the dual language immersion programs that we already have right now at 3 schools, looking to expand that every elementary school, that kid, many of whom you've seen recently with some of the presentations we've done in the community, these kindergarten and first grade students at Sawyer, Northside, and Central have been in this immersion program for a couple of months, but they're already having conversations in Spanish. They're having conversational Spanish right now. Take that kid in K and 1, as they begin to move up the grade level, by the time they get to 5th grade, they'll be bilingual in English and Spanish. They'll be writing and reading easily and fluently in that language. By the time 5th grade rolls around for them, every student in this district will enroll in a pre-IB middle year program. Both our middle schools, as of 2025 in August, will become middle year international baccalaureate programs. Every student in the district will be in those. Then when every student gets the chance to go to 9th grade, they get to choose, do they continue on the diploma international baccalaureate track, or do they move into some of these career academies, or do they do both? And so high schools for us are becoming a place where you choose. You mix and match what you want, and you put it together, and it all comes together for you. But for that K and 1 student I just mentioned that's in dual language, they'll be bilingual by 5th grade. They'll become a pre-IB student in middle school. And then when they get to high school, if they continue on the IB track, they'll graduate from high school with an internationally recognized diploma, being fully bilingual in English and Spanish, and having access to internships through the career academies. Now tell me who would not hire, accept, or invite that young person into service for the country. They will go anywhere they want to go on this planet, and they'll be some of the most competitive students leaving high school for this world of work that you can imagine. And they will not have had to have left Eastern North Carolina to get that experience. They would not have had to have gone to Durham, Research Triangle, or Chesapeake. They could stay right in this beautiful city of Elizabeth City and get those things. That's the heartbeat of where the programming is coming from. Very quickly, I'll hit on these things. Core principles around this is we believe that bilingualism is an advantage, that being able to speak multiple languages in 2025 is a huge competitive skill for our students. Over half the district in the next 5 years will be bilingual because they'll be in the dual language program. The other half of the students that, for whichever reason, may not have chosen to go in dual language are going to get access to exploratory Spanish in elementary. They will then take Spanish course credit in middle school because they'll all be in the middle year IB program, and then that student could go on to explore Spanish credit in high school. So essentially, every student in this district over the next 5 years is going to have an opportunity, either through bilingual dual immersion or exploratory Spanish, to learn Spanish in one pathway. That's going to give them a bilingual advantage. I think that is a huge hallmark of what we're building here. 2, global competitiveness, and that our students are no longer competing against students in the state for jobs. They're competing against people from around the world, and they're competing against AI for jobs. And so thinking about how we give students skills to be able to navigate an even evolving global workforce is something that's rooted in this idea of global competitiveness. 3, we're going to become an IB for all district. And we're doing some research on this here, but I don't know of another district in the state, and I'm not going to fully comment on this because we've not verified this, but we will be a district as of August 2025 where we will offer IB in the middle school to every single student in the district. And we cannot find another example, at least in our early research, of districts who've done that. We know a lot of districts who have middle year IB programs. We can't find one that has done IB for every student in the middle school program. And so that's going to be a hallmark. We're going to have IB for every single middle school student in this district in just a couple of short months. And then finally here, 2 last things. Through the donation and financial partnerships of organizations like Centera and other partners, we're building out a plan to provide our students an opportunity to travel abroad if they choose to go in these programs. And so for the students that opt to go in the dual language immersion program, we're looking at a summer or week experience abroad in their 8th grade year going into 9th grade. For students that leave the middle year IB program and they go into the diploma program 11th grade and decide to finish that diploma program out 12th grade, we're working on building in a summer foreign study abroad opportunity for those high school students. So for those IB students that move on to the diploma, some of them will be bilingual because they've been in dual language immersion, and we're going to work through funding to get them to travel abroad before they graduate high school, adding another skill set, another part of that global competitiveness to our students. And then finally, we believe that the community school model is the heartbeat of what a public school is. And these programs are already bringing our community together, bringing the diversity in our community together. Rooted in this is these programs are a reflection of who our community is. And it's one of the things I love about the city of Elizabeth City and Pasco-Tank County. We live in a diverse community of thought, diverse community of race, diverse community in a lot of ways. These programs give opportunities for students of all backgrounds to be able to get these high-quality experiences. So we're really excited to highlight these things here. Having said those things, Caroline, we'll hit the next slide, and we're going to jump right into our conversation on the dual language program. We'll hit the next one there. I want to thank our partners here. We do have Freebird here, who's joining us from Participate, and some of our other community partners. Lauren Luther's here from the Arts of the Albemarle, who's going to join us here. Caroline will hit the next one and go right in here to, I believe dual language immersion is next. Katina, yes. So yeah, let's have Dr. Waples kick that off for us. We're going to be asking the board to consider some additional expansion of this program. So Katina, thank you for highlighting this for us.
Thank you, sir. Last year, our district embarked on 2 endeavors, Spanish dual language immersion and global leaders. The Spanish dual language immersion program is designed to have students in kindergarten and 1st grade fully learn their content in Spanish with a cohort of students, with all of them being taught by extremely competent and experienced educators who are fully bilingual in Spanish and in English. On the first day of classes, as you heard Dr. Parker say, the teachers began speaking to our students in Spanish. By Christmas, our students are communicating and having dialogue with their classmates and teachers in Spanish. Our students are learning to speak, read, and write in Spanish. Currently, this school year, our district is offering dual language immersion classes in 3 of our elementary schools, Central, J.C. Sawyer, and Northside. In each of these 3 schools, there is 1 kindergarten classroom and 1 first-grade classroom with 2 Spanish-speaking teachers in each of them. Again, this has allowed our students to learn to speak, read, and write Spanish fluently and as learning the same content as their peers. The success of our dual language immersion program has definitely been in part due to a very strong partnership with Participate Learning. Participate Learning has provided our 6 new classrooms with amazing teachers, instructional and intervention coaches who come and spend full days with our staff and full access to principal and district level support. This week, we are launching our application for next year to include our 3 other elementary schools, which are P.W. Moore, Sheep Harney, and Weeksville. Based on parent interest, our goal is to have 1 kindergarten classroom in each of these schools and possibly a first-grade classroom in at least one of them. Again, all of that is based upon parent interest. So parents and family members, if you are interested, this is my commercial break, please visit our district website, or you can contact me directly for more information. The goal will be for the cohort of students to remain together through at least 5th grade in elementary school, and then as they enter middle school. When these students go to middle school, they will also continue to learn Spanish together. As you can see from this chart, by the time our students leave middle school, they could potentially enter 2 distinctively different educational tracks and be fully prepared to become certified as interpreters. Conceivably, it is hard to imagine how this would not benefit them regardless of whatever their post-secondary goals are. I swear I didn't hit anything wrong.
And I think on this part here, we added some additional slides right here on the global leaders, and that may or may not be loading, Caroline, so we may have to refresh. And we do have Freebird McKinney here who works for Participate that can prepare to say a couple of things about the global leaders program.
No problem.
Here.
So I'll go ahead and finish my piece, and then not only are our students who are in the dual language immersion classrooms and our 2 middle schools learning about the beauty and significance of other cultures, those entire schools are undergoing intensive staff development with instructional strategies and resources, as well as direct support that is spearheaded by Participate Learning. Our students are becoming global leaders. They are being taught core skills intertwined with real-life world events. For example, last month, students learned about holiday traditions and cultures for various regions in our world, and then they were able to compare those traditions to our family practices. Our students are learning that there's a world outside of them and learning to think critically about our world as a nation.
All right, thank you, Dr. Waples and Freebird. We'll ask you to come up. Caroline, one thing we might do is just exit out of the full screen and then just make the view a little bit bigger there so we can see a little of those slides. And Freebird, you might have to talk just through some of the highlights of it.
That sounds great. Cool. Thank you, Superintendent. Thank you, Board Chair, Vice Chair, and Board members, and to the staff and district team from Elizabeth City Pasquotank Schools. My name is Freebird McKinney, and I did share a new resource. We literally just released it on Friday, and I asked Superintendent Parker to share that with you. It is called From Classroom to Career, the Global Leaders Advantage. And I really wanted to highlight that tonight because I feel like I'm preaching to the choir when it comes to your dedication and your district's dedication to bilingualism. I can say this with confidence. You are the only district in North Carolina that has made the commitment to provide dual language opportunities and global leaders opportunities to every one of your students. And that's a profound and really important piece as we look at global competitiveness that you all have on your mission and vision statement. And also, I wanted to comment on Miss Tiffany because I think the opportunity that she has really encapsulates everything that the Global Leaders Framework is hoping to bring to our schools. If you choose the bilingual pathway, then you're going to have a teacher who brings those lived experiences, who brings that global perspective and that international lens. If you don't happen to choose that, though, what the Global Leaders Framework provides is an opportunity for every student to receive the benefits of that global lens and those global perspectives through learning global skills and competencies. And for a teacher like Miss Tiffany, to be able to go on an experience like the Netherlands, which, by the way, I had the opportunity to go on this program as a member of the North Carolina Coalition for Global Competitiveness. And what Ms. Tiffany is going to experience is the same exact program that myself and many members from the North Carolina Senate, including your former North Carolina Senator Sanderson, went on, to see North Carolina and the Netherlands bringing together an opportunity for ag tech and agribusiness. I've actually extended an invitation from Participate Learning for Superintendent Parker and several members from the community to join as the state kicks that off on March 21st in Asheville, the North Carolina Agritech Ag Business Initiative. So Ms. Tiffany is going to have this opportunity to see this in play in the Netherlands and then bring that back for elementary students to see the possibilities of those global skills and competencies in action. And I think that really encapsulates what we're talking about when we're looking at the career readiness, those global skills and competencies represented in the North Carolina Porch for Graduate as they do transition to that middle school, looking at the career development plan. And we feel like Global Leaders is an incredible way to take an entire school and offer those opportunities, not just the bilingual students, but every single student to make that matriculation up to pre-IB in the NYP program and then the diploma program at the high school level. So I cannot wait for you all to see this. It's a story and a journey. We've included several voices from some of our partners within our network, and I think this will do a great job of really encapsulating what your district and the first district is taking on to provide for the community of Elizabeth City Pasquotank Public Schools. So thank you.
Thank you, Freebird. And Dr. Waples and team, thank you so much for all the prep you've done. We're going to have Sammy come up and talk about the IB program. Before I do that, I want to pause and see if there's any questions or anything that we could talk about with the dual language immersion program here from any board members. So we'll open up if there's any questions or comments on anything there. All right, so we're going to move right along here to our next program that we're excited about this evening, and that's the expansion of the IB program. Sammy, we'll let you kick that off.
Thank you, Dr. Parker.
Yes, sir.
Board Chair Cobb, Vice Chair Pereza, board members, and Dr. Parker, thank you guys for having us here this evening. And we're excited to talk about our International Baccalaureate program. It was almost a year or so ago we approached the board about this idea, and we just thank you for your support. We get an opportunity to talk to a lot of people, and today I was talking with one of our consultants about, tell me about the IB program. Is it really growing? And she said, Sammy, her name is Ruba Ahmed. She said, Sammy, the program is growing by leaps and bounds. And they're so excited that Elizabeth City, Pasquotank County Public Schools took the initiative to start a middle year IB program this past school year. And I asked Ruba, I said, Ruba, of the primary year, of the middle year, and of the diploma, which one's the most popular? And she came out and said, it's the middle year program, Sammy, because it sets the foundation and pathways for kids and for learning. So I just wanted to say that we're on the right path, and thank you guys for all your support in making this happen for our kids and for our community. There's a couple of people I want to really, as I give my overview, really recognize. And the first person is Ms. Sharon Bell. I tell Ms. Bell, she's like the vanguard. Yes, give her a round of applause. I think sometimes I scare Ms. Bell, because when we sit down and talk, I said, Sharon, you're like the vanguard here. There's nobody else in our region that has this middle year program. So we're going to set the tone of what this program should look like. And I could tell her eyes get a little big and so forth, but Ms. Bell and her team has done a great job of capturing this and implementing this. And the one thing that we stress is that we're not going to be experts overnight, but we're taking steps each and every day. So Sharon, thank you for your leadership. I greatly appreciate it. And at the heart of this IB piece is our IB coordinators, and we have two outstanding ones. And the first one is Ms. Millie Griffith from ECMS. So Millie, please stand up. Yeah. And they worked so hard. And Ms. Johnson Lassiter from River Road. So as we continue our endeavor and our venture, as we walk this piece with IB, As Dr. Parker just stated, we want to provide our kids with as many opportunities as possible, and IB is one of those pathways. Next slide for me, please. Yeah. Starting tomorrow, like Dr. Waples, I'm advertising, we're launching our application process. And this process is going to give 30 of our kids to be cohorted that decide to move on in our IB program to grades 9 and 10 to apply for the IB program in the high school at Pasquotank High School. As part of that process, we know there's power in cohorting kids. Students will go through an interview process. They'll do a writing sample. They must have a minimum B average, and there's 2 letters of recommendations that are going to be required. All those requirements that our kids are going to experience as they go out into the job world. So we wanted to really emulate that piece with our kids. Next slide, please. The timeline for implementation. Of course, this year we have ECMS and full implementation of the middle year program. Next year, River Road will be coming aboard with full year implementation. And starting this spring, their teachers will start receiving the training for the implementation in the fall. The third bullet, as far as Pasquotank High School DP application, we can correct that. It has been accepted, so they are actually in candidacy for our first IB high school in the northeastern region. So I think we should applaud on that note. The candidacy process for our high school is a 2-year process, so we had to start this year with our application so that our current rising 9th graders, when they get in 11th grade, they can choose to go into the diploma program, which is grades 11 and 12. And so they will be our first cohort of kids moving into our diploma program. In the year 27, 28, we'll have full implementation. And that will be followed by 2028, 29. We're looking at the same process for Northeastern High School. Okay. And once again, the IB experience is just to give our kids as many opportunities as possible to be those well-rounded citizens that look at things from a global lens and global context, that shows those global traits of empathy, caring for others, and getting involved within their community. Because believe it or not, someday they're going to be sitting where we're sitting and standing where we're standing. And we want to make sure they have the skill sets to be very successful. So at this time, I'll take any questions if the board might have questions. Okay. Thank you for this evening.
Sammy, and Kalina's coming forward here to kick off some information on a very new program and that we're very excited about. So Kalina, I'll let you kick it off for us.
Hello, Board Chair Cobb, Vice Chair Pam Pereza, board members, Dr. Parker. I am before you today to share information about ECPPS Micro School. The ECPPS Micro School will personalize learning for each student by enabling our guides to tailor lessons to individual student strengths, weaknesses, and interests with smaller class sizes. Students can learn at their own pace, mastering concepts before moving on. Learning across grade levels encourages mixed age groups to collaborate across skill levels and perspectives. Flexibility ensures everyone is challenged appropriately without the stigma of being behind or ahead. A cohort model fosters close relationships between teachers, students, and families, creating a supportive and collaborative learning environment. By offering real-world internships and job shadowing projects, students will gain multiple skill levels, making learning more dynamic. In December, we took an inspirational trip to Longview Micro School in Austin, Texas, and Ascent Academy in Austin, Texas. We have spent many months researching micro schools, we meaning the innovative team of ECPPS, and we were researching micro schools across the country, and in December we had the opportunity to visit two of the top micro schools in Austin, Texas. We were excited that we were able to bring two board members along the journey, which were Chairperson Cobb and Board Member Bogues. Some key points to be noted from our visit are: students identified community challenges and worked collaboratively to develop solutions. Students took ownership of their learning journey, guiding their own educational experiences. Students gained valuable skills and knowledge, equipping them for future careers. Our application process goes live tomorrow. Our application is open to all 5th and 6th graders. We have approximately 20 spaces available for the 25-26 school year, and we'll be utilizing a lottery method. And we will have a required orientation so parents can understand what can be expected with our micro school. Our sample schedule: each day will start and end with a portrait. We'll focus on the portrait of a graduate durable skills, which are adaptability, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, empathy, learner's mindset, and personal responsibility. Personalized core will focus on the standardized course of study, and students will also have access to a personalized AI tutor like Khan-Migo, which guides learners to find the answers themselves. It does not give them the answers. Whether their projects are personal passion projects or community-based projects, students will be exposed to real-world problems and challenges where they will gain knowledge and skills by working on a project over an extended period. Now, I would like to welcome Lauren Luther, Director of Arts at Albemarle, to discuss our partnership and the role she will play in the Community Connect Time.
Good evening. My name is Lauren Luther. I'm the Director at Arts of the Albemarle, and I was so excited to get the email from Colina and the call from Dr. Parker that this dream could be a reality. So we at Arts of the Albemarle have had a 3-year plan of bringing our School of the Arts back to life. So far, that has included after-school classes for K-12 students and weekend workshops for adults. One of the things that we have seen is that the demand for after-school arts instruction is bursting, which also means that we are not serving every child because we are only receiving those students after school. Making sure that the fine arts are a part of each and every day of their curriculum is a dream of ours that we weren't sure would ever really happen. The model of this school is perfect. We have grown our School of the Arts program, and now we have a 3rd commercial space in downtown Elizabeth City to serve students. That includes 1 classroom space and 4 private lesson spaces. Although we are still creating what the program and the schedule will look like, we do know that these micro school students will come to Arts of the Albemarle to receive fine arts training with a various array of options, which may include private or group lessons in violin, guitar, ukulele, piano, voice, choir, theater, musical theater, theater tech, visual art, and much, much more. So we have teachers who are pining at the opportunity to be a part of this program with us, and we can't wait to be the fine arts home base of the ECPPS Micro School. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. A couple of facts. Micro School will be housed at Pasquotank Early Childhood Center. We're here right now. Transportation will be provided by ECPPS to and from school. And we talked briefly about technology access earlier with the introduction to AI in the classroom. Do you have any questions?
Colina, I want to point out a couple of things. One, yes. I want to thank you, Kelly Cow, the innovation team, and the board who attended the trip and also have supported this work. So we put a lot of thinking into this, you know, and the goal behind this is to create an experience that we don't yet have. And so this school is not going to be like the current experience. And for example, you just heard Lauren talk that we're not going to place music and band teachers in the school. We're going to send kids to the Arts of the Albemarle. That's where they're going to get their fine arts instruction. We're not going to have a PE teacher, but the kids are going to go to a community partner. We're working on finalizing those details. They're going to get physical activity from a community partner that's going to do that. Kalina and the other staff member are working on the process when we identify the second person of getting their CDL. We're going to give them a school bus, and they're just going to drive the kids where they need to go during the day. It's going to be like the magic school bus. Everybody just gets on it, and you go to AOA, and then you go to these other places, and you just kind of move where we need to go. The school in its lifespan will not really exceed 40 to 60 kids. So at any given moment, the whole school will fit on the school bus. And the goal is that they're equally spending half their time or more in the community. Because as we said earlier, the goal of high school is getting kids ready for workplace. And the goal of this is to expose kids to careers and what that means so that they can make better decisions about what they want to do in internships in high school. And so grounded in that is going to be these community experiences. And you think about our community, I've said this a lot, we have everything that we need already is right here in Elizabeth City. We have an arts museum. We have dedicated people that are going to invest. And so we're bringing this school to embed it in the community, and I think that's a hallmark of what we're grounded in here. Two other pieces I'll just add really quickly, and then we'll ask the board to give comments or questions. One is Kalina is leading the school. There'll be a second staff member that we're going to post and identify in the months ahead. There's going to be 2 staff members initially for 20 students. Grades 5 and 6 will kick it off, and then we'll add a grade every year till we get to grades 5 through 8. And so Kalina and one other staff member are going to be using overarching project-based learning to teach grade level standards. So at the end of the day, a 5th grader is going to be responsible for 5th grade curriculum, and an 8th grader will be responsible for 8th grade curriculum. But they'll access the introduction to that through an overarching problem of practice the whole school will work on throughout the whole year, and that problem of practice is going to be connected to a community partner. We've got several community partners that we're working on to build this. We're not ready to announce that yet, but the students will lead the school, and they'll engage in their learning in the community working with the business. And that'll be something that carries on through the year of the school, through projects and through classroom learning. And to help 2 teachers be able to teach 4 grade levels, we've invested a lot of energy in learning about AI programs like Conmigo. And so Conmigo is a program that an AI tutor that's been launched by Khan Academy. Many in the room will recognize Khan Academy and Sal Khan. But Conmigo works with the teacher, and this is how advanced this technology has gotten so quickly. Kalina and the other staff member will write a lesson plan on fractions, put it in Conmigo. Conmigo, the AI tutor, will come up with the activities for the student based on Kalina's lesson plan. And when it goes to individualized learning, the student will then go, and Conmigo will tutor the kid based on what Kalina had in the lesson plan. And so when students move into the individualized portion of the day, we'll be using AI tutoring as a way to get them specialized instruction. And from that perspective, Kalina, instead of 1 person, becomes 20 people. And that's the technology that really is at our disposal. Parents will be able to view what students do in Conmigo, and Conmigo is a safe, monitored AI program that will not give answers and also restricts what students have access to. So I just want to point that out because we've really thought about innovation at the heart of making this work. And for our families that may be listening or exposed to this, we're using creativity and innovation to be able to personalize the experience with less staff, but also get kids out into the real world at a younger age. So having said that, Kalina, thank you for the hard work you're doing. I think you're just a phenomenal person to kick this school off and lead it. It's a lot of hard work to build something from the ground up, but it's also very exciting. And so, your energy and excitement is carrying this thing through. So let me pause there, and we'd love to hear any comments or questions from the board.
I just want to go on the record saying that I'm absolutely thrilled at the thought of a partnership with AOA. It is going to fill a need, I think, that our community has. And I challenge any other community partners that have similar opportunities available for our students to reach out to Kalina or reach out to the central office and give that opportunity, because I've seen this school and this type of school in action, and it's amazing. And it really is something special that we're going to be able to give our students in this county that nobody else can give. And so we have an opportunity, like Dr. Parker said, we have everything in this community that we need, and we can make it so that these students and future students have an opportunity to experience something that will provide them with lifelong opportunities.
Is this the camera? If anybody is watching and is interested in partnering with our micro school, we have a link on the home page where you can fill out a short, very short survey, and we can get in touch and set up a meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Kalina, and thank you, Lauren. And we're going to conclude this portion of the presentation with Nina and Courtney, who are going to talk to us about the Aviation Academy, and which is our first signature career academy that we're launching here. So thank y'all for hitting it. We'll let y'all kick it off.
Yes, good evening, Chairwoman Cobb, Vice Chair Pereza, distinguished board members, and Superintendent Parker, and our community members and staff members here this evening. We are coming this evening to present some information in regards to our new ECPPS Aviation Academy. And with me tonight, I have Ms. Courtney Simpson, who is our CDC, or Career Development Facilitator, I always want to say CDC, at Northeastern High School, and she'll also be sharing some information as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this. Ooh. All right. So the Aviation Academy is going to be starting at Northeastern High School, and it presents an innovative educational opportunity for students eager to explore careers in aviation, aerospace mechanics, and engineering. This program not only facilitates the pursuit of college credits, but also prepares students for certification through the Federal Aviation Administration. So what's coincidental is that we had this young man here tonight who was taking out our students in 7th grade on a flight, and I was like, oh my gosh, we were like, oh, we didn't even know that was on the program. So it's all working out together and meshing so well. So I was like, oh my God, we got to figure out who those students are. I got to talk to them, go to their school. Sharon, they belong to your school too, right? At ECMS. Ryan and, okay, so we're going to be recruiting them into this program. When they get to high school. It's a high school program, okay? But we're going to go ahead and get it into their minds so they can go ahead and get ready. So we're going to be opening it, of course, to our rising 9th graders. We're going to start at Northeastern High School. And eventually we'll go to the other side of town if we have enough interest at Pasco St. County High School in 2026. We'll start with about 25 because this will be housed in the CTE department. So, of course, Ms. Overton will keep me on track. May we hear Ms. Overton? We know that our CTE courses, of course, have to have at least, not at least, 25 is the cap of students that they can have in their courses. So we'll be going up under their umbrella. And the students will be placed in a cohort. So like we said, they're going to be starting in the 9th grade. With this program, they'll be having hands-on approach. Students can engage in work-based activities and learning opportunities and potentially earn their pilot's license before graduating from high school. We are going to be partnering with Elizabeth City State University, and let me tell you, this is our very first time ever that we've partnered with ECSU, so our students can go to have classes through the aviation department there. So let's just give ourselves a round of applause for that partnership. Yes. And we're already partnered with COA as well, College of Albemarle. The Academy will offer a robust curriculum of aviation mechanics, engineering, and practical flight training. Because like we said earlier, not everyone wants to become a pilot. So we want to have lots of different pathways so that they can have this opportunity so that they can be ready for the career world as well. Okay. So all of this, of course, will be supported by Elizabeth City Pasco St. Public Schools. And this program will equip students with the essential skills and certifications, which will be part of the CTE certification so they can be concentrators. I'm really learning. And pave the way for diverse career paths in the aviation industry. We developed a sample course sequence And this is a sample for us, and we definitely will hope that you all have this in your packets as well so that you can see it. And we've mapped it out so that when our students start in 9th grade, they'll be cohorted, of course, and they'll start with their basic classes like English, and we want these to be higher level classes. English 1, World History, Honors Earth and Environmental Science, Honors Math 2, because we know that in middle school, all of our 8th grade students are taking Math 1 now, so we're going to go ahead and get them into that Math 2. And we're also going to start them on the Project Lead the Way in the 9th grade pathway. We're going to have some options for some different electives as well for them to take in their freshman year. Once they get into their sophomore year, we're going to try to make sure that we are now going into our aerospace technologies and as far as their electives go. So we're going to try to just diverse them into that pathway. But once again, we're going to have different pathways like mechanics, engineering, and pathways like that so they can get that hands-on experience throughout their years. As they matriculate through their 11th and 12th grade year, that's when they'll start doing their internships and job shadowing. And they'll be able to go to COA and do the airframe class. I don't know, learn about that too. And they're working on the mechanics. And also they'll have an opportunity to take some online self-paced courses with ECSU in the aviation science department. So we're just working to do things that will improve and make our students innovative and competitive out here in the world. And so at this time, we want to have, oh, I already talked about some of the benefits. Yeah, I did, didn't I? But some of the benefits, of course, are right here on the screen as well. Like we say, we're going to get those, some students will be able to get their pilot's license. They'll have work opportunities. Some of them will be able to leave high school and go right into a job and make lots of money with these skills and have all these types of certifications. So at this time, I'm going to let Courtney talk about a little bit about CTE department as well and herself.
I'm really just here to introduce myself so that everybody can put a name with the face. So my role at Northeastern and River Road is the Career Development Facilitator. And basically what I do is I help students, learn durable skills, work-based learning experiences, and business and community connections. And this semester I've actually taken on internships. So I'm kind of just, getting out in the world and helping the students get where they need to be. And I'm also going to be, working with River Road, the upcoming freshmen from River Road, and trying to get them into this program.
So at this time, we want you to remember that this is just the beginning of our career academies. We are going to be branching out into many different opportunities in our CTE department and have these career academies to flourish. So at this time, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask them at this time. All right, well, just keep looking up in the friendly skies and we'll be there.
Yep. And thank you, team, there for that. And one last thing I'll say is pending the board's approval on these programs, what we'd like to do is launch the application of all 4 of these programs tomorrow morning. And we'll have an application process where students and families can opt in. All of these programs are optional. They're a selection of choices that families can make right here in the public school system. And so we want to launch that application tomorrow and then begin recruiting. And so having said that, then we appreciate the board's input and support on these things.
With that being said, at this time, I need a motion on the floor to approve the new programs for the 25-26 school year.
Motion to approve item A, new programs for the 25-26 school year. This includes the dual language immersion for P.W. Moore, Sheep Parney, and Weeksville, a micro school program for grades 5 and 6, expanding to grade 8, an aviation academy for Northeastern High School, an international baccalaureate program for PCHS, and middle year IB for River Road.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chair Pereza. Can we get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ms. Warden. Do we have any further discussion? If not, at this time, please signify a positive vote with a show of hands. Let the record reflect that that vote was unanimous with Mr. Old absent. And next, we will move on to the North Side Serving Line quote.
Good evening again. We have a serving line in the Northside cafeteria that has reached the end of its life cycle. It is the original serving line from when the school was built. Currently, our ladies in the cafeteria are having to monitor the temperature of the food and move it to a warmer and then back. So it's a lot of double work for the ladies, and it is also very not only labor intensive, but it's a lack of efficiency. And as you know, Ms. Reinhardt's program is to be self-sufficient, and part of that involves a meal to labor rate. I think I said that correctly, a meal to labor rate, and that has actually gone down because of this process. So Ms. Reinhardt received 3 different quotes, with the cheapest being Singer for a total of $68,055.21. And that does include installation and removal. Move on to item C, the renegotiated lawn care and landscaping services. If you'll recall, back in the spring, last spring, we contracted with some local groundskeepers because of the lack of groundsmen we had lost so many personnel. So Ms. Jordan has renegotiated with these contractors. They're ready to go ahead and get their schedule set for the spring. And we are recommending tonight Sunshine Contracting to maintain their current contract of Central, H.L. Trigg, J.C. Sawyer, Northeastern, and then add Weeksville, P.W. Moore, and Sheep Harney. And also continue the contract with Sutton's doing Central Office, Pasquotank, and River Road.
Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Tilley? Okay, if not, we need a motion for both of these quotes.
I'd like to move to approve item B, serving line purchase Singer quote number SF9533M in the amount of $55.21. And item C, quotes for lawn care and grass cutting services for Sunshine, to renew services for Central, H.L. Trigg, J.C. Sawyer, Northeastern, and adding Weeksville Elementary, P.W. Moore, and Sheep in the amount of $3,050 per week, and Sutton's to renew services for the Central Office, Pasquotank Elementary, and River Road in the amount of $25.50 per week.
Thank you, Ms. Warden. Do I have a second? Okay. Do we have any further discussion? Okay.
They are listed. We had a contractor that provided those services last spring, and in comparison with the other lawns that were being cut throughout the district, their pricing was extremely high. So we went to the 2 contractors mentioned tonight and got quotes, and the cheapest for that was Sunshine. This is just showing you the 3 quotes that were received.
So the only one we'll have is Sunshine?
And Sutton's.
And Sutton's.
The ones that are highlighted in yellow.
Okay, just the highlighted ones.
Okay. That answer your question? Okay. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I don't think we got it. Did we get a second?
Ms. Pereza.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. If not, would you please signify a positive vote by show of hands? Will let the record reflect that that is a unanimous vote without Mr. Old in presence. Thank you, Ms. Tilley, and thank you, Ms. Jordan, and everyone else involved, Ms. Reinhardt, involved with those. Okay, so with all that being said, it is time to ask for a motion to adjourn. Y'all just want to stay, don't you?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to adjourn. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Anything else for discussion this evening? If not, please signify a positive vote with a show of hands. We have 2 positive votes. We have a full house, a unanimous vote without Mr. Old here. We are adjourned.